Anyone down for a trip to the Barnyard? I hear they have some amazing parties. You don't want to miss the parties, right? Well, maybe you would for this Barnyard.
And three are together, now here we go. Wake up. Wake up.
This was another Nickelodeon movie that was written and directed by Steve Odekirk. And do you remember one of his films we covered? Yeah, well, thing is, he's also behind an old favorite of mine, Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. It was an enjoyable family movie that led to a fun and memeable TV series.
Hi, how's it going? So, which kid is yours?
I'm the clown.
Oh, I didn't want to assume. Well, in this house, we never judge people by the multicolor of their skin.
But I can't say the same for today's movie, because unlike Jimmy Neutron, I remember Barnyard being pretty bad, though I have no opinion on the TV show that came out of it. I'm just sad that this got a series, yet the Ant Bully didn't. Really? Also of note, unlike Jimmy Neutron, which had several writers, this one only had Steve and his personal animation studio, O Entertainment. That company doesn't see much work outside of Jimmy or Barnyard-related media, and a bunch of thumb-based shorts. Really, I wanted to do this as a sort of warm-up for another Nickelodeon movie that made a bad impression on me. But enough of that for now. Let's just go to the Barnyard and see where the party is at. Okay, so that animation quality. Yep, totally dated. I will say it's slightly better than what we see from Jimmy Neutron, though that could be due to the lack of complicated designs for sets and characters. As for the kind of story we have,
Clear!
it's essentially The Secret Life of Pets, where the animals have more self-awareness when the humans aren't looking. That and them walking up on their hind legs. I could reference that one Robot Chicken sketch for this movie, but I won't. The one in charge is this brown bovine named Ben, voiced by film veteran Sam Elliott. And he's one of the few characters I actually like, given that most of these animals are either too laid back or obnoxious. We need someone to straighten them out.
Okay, meeting's in 5 minutes, and I want everyone present.
We have some other notable actors who have credits outside of Nickelodeon, like Danny Glover as Miles, who is also Ben's close friend, Courtney Cox as Daisy, Wanda Sykes as Bessie, Andy McDowell, David Kushner, and Kevin James.
Salt lick! It's go time!
Now, you might notice that Otis has udders, and you might think that he's a trans male cow. While that would be cool for a Nickelodeon movie in 2006, I'm not sure that's what they had in mind, because all the bovine in this movie have udders. Whether this design was more efficient or meant to be funny, I'm not sure. But the only hint that he might be trans comes from this exchange later on.
Remember when I used to sit out here with your sister?
I don't have a sister.
Oh, yeah. That was you, wasn't it?
Even in a movie that's not very good, it does have some much needed representation for children's media. Awareness of LGBTQ+ in media has only gotten improved over the years, despite executive meddling from certain companies, so it's really nice to see a 2006 movie that's ahead of the curve. Anyway, as far as animal shenanigans go, it's about as random as some animated movies can be. The surfing scene alone can attest to that.
What's up?
We have a running gag where this Rob Paulson chicken, Peck, being chummy with a ferret that wants to eat him, named Freddy. I'm guessing that's their dynamic. Otis also reminds me of Norm, since he isn't allowed to have human items.
Frankie, come here. Frankie, come here. No, I'm not. Come here. I'm not gonna hurt you. Frankie, come here. I tell you never to do that again as long as I live. Now put it over there. Now.
And then there's jokes like that where I have to question what the hell were they thinking? mean, sheesh. Did we really need an implied joke about abuse? Just seems mean-spirited. As for character development, we see that Ben and Otis have somewhat of a rocky relationship due to being polar opposites. The former wants the latter to be a capable leader who would protect others, but Otis thinks it's every animal for themselves. He obviously needs to overcome that, and he needs to realize that Ben can't be the only adult in the room. But we do have hints of Otis being more kind-hearted towards children.
Hey, Maddie, looking good over there.
Shove a face, you crazy cow. Say I'm smooshy.
I am smooshy.
And of course, we also have a subplot where Otis is trying to woo Daisy, who is here with Bessie after something happened with her original herd.
Excuse me, but I couldn't help notice you over there. Whoa! Hey! Oh, look at you. You're all,
Pregnant?
Yeah, sure. I mean, really? Because, I mean, it isn't that noticeable.
Smooth moves, Otis. Though at least you don't seem to mind that she's pregnant. So they do try to make our hero into a brat with a heart of gold, but it doesn't work for a movie with country-style barn animal humor. Like at night, when the farmer goes to sleep, they turn the place into a party house. Now I'm starting to wonder how the farmer missed all that noise.
Sit right here, honey. Oh, the flowers are beautiful.
Okay, you nearly had me there. Like, the animals make it clear that they want to hide their other side from the humans, but they are taking so many risks that can expose themselves. Not to mention, not having human items is okay, but homemade human-like commodities is... Back on character growth, Otis joins Ben in his night shift to look after the barn. And although Ben has a little bit of fun at our heroes' expense, they do get closer.
I know it doesn't sound possible, but I looked up into the sky, and I would have swore I saw the stars dance. At that moment, I knew my place was here, taking care of things.
It's a real decent moment that shows the bond between father figure and son. And although Otis returns to the party later, it's because he received permission to do so. There's clearly a better understanding between the two now.
Yeah, that's that saying thing, right? A strong man stands up for himself, a stronger man can bridge the gap between... Got it, locked in the vault!
Well, it might take a while before we get to something like that. But man, they really drag out a lot of these party scenes. There's a rapping rat, who happens to be voiced by Shaggy. A rooster doing stand-up, and Otis doing... whatever this is. There's also the neighbors. One of them looks a little similar to Hugo Neutron, who were pretty close to discovering the animals, and they seem to call the police, but false alarm, it's just the pizza man with a police siren.
See ya! No, lose it!
Wow. I am so sorry about that.
You know what? You keep it. Yeah, it's dirty now.
Really? All right. Dude, I got an arm!
Yeah, right, yes!
Enough! Can we move on with the story? Well, finally we get something. We have the Coyotes, led by someone named Dag, who try to sneak into the hen house. And well... they certainly look starved, given how skinny they look. At least they seem a little bit imposing.
You won't be taking any hens tonight.
And you're gonna stop us? Is that what's gonna happen? Are you gonna stop us?
No, he is.
Put the hen down, Dag.
Okay, more reason why Ben is one of the better characters. He's so badass, he'll fight playing a guitar. Or hell, he doesn't have to. The music keeps going even when he stops playing. Of course, they eventually overpower him, but Ben isn't going down without a fight. Then he dies.
Oh.
Well, this was certainly one of the cleanest deaths I've seen yet. Unless he bled out, I can't imagine dying from being bitten a lot when you're a large cow. So of course, the farmer buries him the next day, and now the animals are sad and leaderless. I do appreciate the movie for taking the time to give this scene the weight it deserves. Everyone is calm and solemn, and there's only one joke that is meant for self-reflection. It actually made me feel bad for Otis, even if just for this one sequence.
Let's get this meeting started.
Hey, Duke, who's gonna run the meeting?
That's what the meeting's about.
The meeting's about finding someone to run the meeting? Is that a good idea? We should take a meeting about it.
Well, it was good while it lasted. So now the animals need a new leader who can protect them. And since it becomes clear that the one sheepdog can't do it, they end up doing what Ben always wanted, choosing Otis to be their new leader. But of course our hero isn't in the best state of mind, but maybe this one chick can cheer him up.
Come on. Hey, guys.
For that brief moment, it looks like Otis might be able to respect his father's wishes to keep things in order. But...
Wild Mike! Wild Mike!
I'm not doing this, okay? There's no way this is happening.
Ugh, who invited Cousin It to the barnyard? And why do they seem to worship its every move? And if you look very closely, you can see its eyes. I'm very much afraid. And then...
Meow?
So of course, Otis has to decide how to handle the farmer. They're obviously not going to kill him like some suggest, but then they start talking about vegans, like, huh? And they choose to leave him next to a tree to make him believe that it was all a dream.
Book.
That was pretty funny. Now, if it wasn't that noticeable, let me say it clearly. This movie likes to pad things out a lot. All we get right now are Freddy and Peck guarding the hen house as the farmer goes crazy from hunger.
You okay? Boneless white meat! What? I'm not hungry. I mean, I don't want to eat anyone. You. Huh? What happened? What?
And no comment. No chance for Peck to hear him out on what his problem is. They just left it at that. Because humor. It's like they don't have much to do until the plot comes back. And now we have Steve Odekirk making a cameo in this movie.
That's called cow tipping.
That's called animal abuse. Seriously, that cow now has a seizure, you snot-nosed brat. Now, with these 3 Jersey cows showing up, they seem to be the kind of friends that will lead Otis astray. And after what that snot-nosed kid did, you'd think he would hesitate on getting back at the boy.
Let's go.
Didn't even waste time. I guess some things don't change. So they steal a car from the neighbors and eventually find where the snotty boy lives. I'm guessing this kid has issues with how he behaves, but that doesn't matter. It's time for a trailer moment.
That's called boy tipping. Put crowns on our heads 'cause we are the kings.
May I?
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me no more.
Now the real cops show up and...
Some teenagers going out for a joyride in their mom's car. Yeah, we'll shake them up a bit, send them home.
Police work is like that. Part instinct, part luck.
You know, kids, nothing a little strip search won't cure, yeah?
FBI, open up!
Well, Otis and company elude the police by running into the woods and acting like ordinary cows. He then takes charge of guarding the barnyard and gets a moment with Daisy there. They reminisce about Ben, and we learn where Daisy and Bessie came from.
I was married, and life was good. One day a bad storm rolled in. Bessie and I were in the meadow, and we found a place on high ground. But when we went home, well, everyone was gone.
And again, it's more a reason for Otis to grow up and become a responsible adult figure. But it's just too bad that it gets dragged down by its approach to humor. This kind of story feels like it could be better incorporated into a standalone movie and not as some pilot to a TV show that won't even reference its original story. Getting back on topic, Dag comes back for more food. Otis thinks he can get his revenge for Ben, but he's very much outclassed.
Okay, from here on out, this is the way it's gonna work. We show up. You look the other way. A few animals missing here and there. Hey, it's the natural order of things. It'll be our little secret. Oh, and Ben's kid. If you should think about getting a sudden burst of courage, we slaughter every animal in sight.
Yeah, this is more dark than when King Goobot wanted to sacrifice human adults to a giant chicken, knowing that you need to turn a blind eye to the bad guys or risk losing everything. So naturally, this leads to Otis heading to Ben's grave to admit how foolish he was. He considers running away, and he even meets the animals one last time to say farewell.
I couldn't do anything. They're gonna come back tonight. I can't protect anyone. Everyone here, they all trust me. And I can't protect a single one of them.
Otis, the best leader isn't the biggest or the strongest. The best leader is the one who cares the most.
And it's really from this point on that the movie has the right mix between humor and drama. Otis then realizes the need to confront the coyotes. They just took away his friends from the hen house, so he tracks down the villains to a junkyard. Kudos to the tense atmosphere due to the color design, and it makes the ensuing battle all the better.
In a world that keeps on pushing me around, but I'll stand my ground.
Of course, the other barn animals show up too, but now we need some unnecessary jokes to ruin the moment.
Fear.
Shoot, I told you they can smell it. They can smell it? Oh yeah, I have it. I have a lot of it.
Just stick near me, guys, and you'll be all right.
Yeah, I'll watch your juicy back. I mean your regular back.
Hey! Sorry, man. It's just pellets.
But otherwise, it's not as bad as the start of the movie. Otis gets his second wind from seeing his friends struggle to the bitter end. So he takes the fight to Dag himself. The main villain tries to kill Otis the same way he did Ben, but...
Never come back.
So as the movie winds down, Otis learns that Daisy is going into labor. Miles suggests returning home with some stolen motorcycles, and that's an alright image. They then arrive just in time for one last wholesome scene, with added singing by Miles.
She's gonna be all right, though, huh?
Yeah, like, what if it gets stuck or something?
What? You mean like stuck halfway? So she'd be a cow and a half?
Just get to the baby! There it is.
What are you gonna name him?
I was thinking I kind of like Ben.
Aww. And with that, Otis is going to stay behind as animal leader. For real this time. And just like with Ben, the stars would dance that night. And then one last funny moment with Nora.
Gosh, I wonder why I forgot to use conditioner.
So, yeah, this movie isn't very good. But there are some good points if you squint hard enough. While this is a Secret Life of Pets-like story with farm animals, there was still effort to the character development side of things. Otis eventually lives up to the example set by his adopted father, but he doesn't completely lose his fun-loving side, so he can indulge in a bit of silliness every so often. Sadly, the rest of the story is mostly dull or forgettable. It often drags on for too long as the jokes aren't very funny. It only really balanced its character study and humor at the very end. And by that point, it's too little too late. I only really liked Ben as a character, and he was only around for Act 1. I remember more characters from Jimmy Neutron, and I haven't seen that movie in years. The voice work was alright at least, but I can't say the same for the animation. It's very dated, and certain details in their designs make them feel uncanny, especially during the visual gags. So, this movie's a mess. Any attempt at being family-oriented is undercut by its share of edgy humor, so the theme about being a grown-up and a leader doesn't resonate. Perhaps the only saving grace is that there are worse Nick movies that moved on to become TV shows. Because the worst has yet to come. I'm the Media Hunter. Media's my prey, and reviewing them my way.
Golly, golly, Brewster in